Okay, so the assignment is posted online, and this will be due November 11th, so that's next Wednesday. Okay, well, I will open up I can log in. You are going to simulate the dice rolling in Monopoly. Okay, so who has anyone not played the board game Monopoly? Not played? Okay, so everybody's at least some base level of familiarity with this game. I hope. All right. Where is this? Okay, so the board looks like this. You start at go, um, and you roll two dice. Okay, and you just work your way around the board. Okay, and it just keeps going in a circle, and I just so normally, if you played this, a billion times, every single spot would have an equal probability of being landed upon. Okay. However, in Monopoly, there are a few exceptions. Okay. Nobody can actually land on this square because as soon as you touch this square, or like as soon as your turn ends on the square, you get sent immediately to jail. Okay, so that increases the probability. So jail now has double the chance of being landed upon because there's effectively two squares that count for jail. Okay, and then there's a few other places: community chest and chance. And if you land on any of these spots, okay, there's you draw a deck, you draw a card from the deck, and the card will say something like you lose $100. Okay, and in that case you don't move, you just stay where you are. But sometimes the card will say advanced to the nearest railroad, and then you go forward. So, for example, if you are on this chance spot here, and it says advance to the nearest railroad, you always go forward. You never go backward. Okay, so if you hit this chance and you get advanced to the nearest railroad, you go forward, something like that. Or you might draw a card and it says go to the nearest utility. Okay, so if you're right here, then you go forward, and the nearest utility is the electric company. There's electric company and water works. Those are utilities. There are four railroads: Reading, Pennsylvania, B&O, and Short Line. Okay, and then there's other ones that say things like go, take a ride on the boardwalk, and you end up at Boardwalk, or go to Illinois Avenue, or something like that. So certain properties have a slightly higher chance because of the card. Okay, essentially you're going to be rolling dice, and you'll be moving around. There is one. The most complicated thing is the rules about jail. Okay, and so I'm going off of the official Monopoly rules, which might be slightly different from the way you guys play, but essentially, if there are several ways to get sent to jail. You land on this spot, you get sent to jail. Some of the cards, community chest and chance, will say go to jail. Okay, and so you land on chance, and then you get sent to jail. Or if you roll doubles 3 times in a row, that third time you roll doubles, you immediately go to jail. You don't land on that spot, you go to jail. Okay, and then once you're in jail, then you have the option of trying to roll to get out or paying a fee to get out of jail. And generally in the game, in the beginning of the game, you want to get out of jail quickly and you want to pay your fee to get out. And then later on in the game, once all the properties have been purchased, you want to stay in jail as long as you can, okay? Because that way you avoid paying rent. It's hard to create a system where you modify that. So in the homework, I've asked you to implement what's called a long stay strategy in jail, which is basically you never pay the fee to get out unless you're forced to. Okay, and so the way you get out of jail is you roll the dice. If you roll doubles, you get out. And the weird thing is if you roll doubles, you get out of jail free, but you don't roll again. So normally if you roll doubles, you get to go again, but if you roll doubles while in jail, you don't get to go again. Okay, and then But otherwise, if you don't roll in doubles, you stay in jail. And on your third turn in jail, you have to leave. So whether you roll doubles or not, you leave jail, that number that you roll. Okay? I've written all of these details, these fine rules regarding Monopoly in your homework assignment, which is supposed to be posted online. This is not loading, is it? I might have hit the back button. I hit the refresh button. So these are all in here, and basically, I think what you're going to want to do is create some kind of reference class for the players who are playing. So you're going to simulate a two-player game, but you want to create a reference class for your players to keep track of their position on the board, whether they're in jail or not, how many doubles they've rolled, things like that. So you want to keep track of those things, and so you want functions that can modify them there, because reference classes are mutable, and then you can program how a turn works, which implements all of these things. And I've kind of tried to provide some hints. So this is all the rules for movement. I've already programmed the entire game board, chance deck, and community chest deck for you guys. Meaning, I've just created data frames with what those cards say. It's up to you to implement the functions. Okay, and I've also created a dice function, which rolls 2 dice for you guys. Okay, so I think, I hope it's interesting, and you'll get to see which properties are the best ones to have, and so on and so forth. And yeah, so this one will be due November 2nd. So we're putting our simulation skills into to full effect here. All right, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Oh, we have a question. Yeah, if you just happen to land on the jail space, you are not in jail. You are called just visiting. Okay, so you're not in jail. You're on the jail space, but you are not in jail.